to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sarah, and if you're returning, it is nice to see you again. I have been MIA on my channel for almost 2 months, I think. The biggest reason is I have moved out of home. I will have a compilation of vlogs coming out after this video, but I thought I'd start off the month with a book video. I really do want to try and get back into my books now that I'm into a better routine and I'm at home and I can read a little bit more. I definitely do want to start vlogging again and obviously filming sit down book videos. So I thought I'd start this month off with books that I would love to read this month. Keep in mind the pile that I'm showing you is a bit ambitious. I am a full-time uni student with 2 jobs, so the realistic idea of me getting this done is highly unlikely, but I thought it'd just be fun, something different, and to just show you guys what I'm interested in reading. So I will admit I've already finished one on my TBR and I've started a second one. So the first one I read for the month, I don't have the book on me because my nan is currently reading it. It is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I took so long to read this book because I didn't know if I wanted to read thriller. Thriller is a genre that I'm not usually a big reader in, but I love Colleen Hoover and I've made it my goal to have her collection and finish her collection. So obviously that is one of the books in her collection. I will admit, I loved it. I did. It was very graphic at points, but I did really enjoy the book all in all. I loved the plot. It was terrifying. I finished the book in less than 48 hours because I couldn't sleep or read it in the nighttime because I was just that terrified. I was on edge the whole time. So you can tell what a kind of reader I am like. And then, so I gave that book a 5-star, but I'll talk more about that in my end of the month video. I definitely want to start doing monthly reading wrap-ups and then what I want to read for the next month. So I'll talk about that more in that book. Now the other one I'm reading currently, which is on my TBR, is The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. If you are unaware, this is the 3rd installment of the Inheritance Games trilogy. I love the first 2 books. I gave them both 4 stars, which would make sense because I usually give a book 4 stars if the second half is like really intense and really good. First half is nothing crazy. I understand you need a lot of world building and a lot of understanding to get to the end of these books, so I do really love them, but I don't get through them as quick. Like for me, it had to be a 5-star read. Either read it really quickly because it's how I know I love it, or I literally just don't want it to end, that I like let it draw out kind of thing, or I can't stop thinking about it. That's like kind of my rating system. But 4 is still a really good rating for me. It just means that I did really enjoy it, but it did take longer than I wanted to finish it. But I'll definitely finish this today. I've got 100 and a bit pages left and I'm really wanting to finish it, only because it's just come out and I don't want any spoilers. I know, like for example, Rachel Catherine reads this series and she talks about books that she's read in her vlogs, and I know she doesn't spoil any of the parts or anything, but I'd love to get her point of view of the book, and I have read it as well, if that makes sense. So that's the book I'm currently reading. And then moving on to, obviously, I think this book is going to be on everyone's TBR. Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is the 4th book in the same world setting. This one, alongside the Daisy Jones and the Six, 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and Malibu Rising are all part of the same world. The characters intertwine in books. So for example, Carrie was in Malibu Rising, the dad from Malibu Rising was in 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and then some of the band members in Daisy Jones 6 were at the party at Malibu Rising. So they all just intertwine, which I think is so cool and a different interesting concept, and I didn't really pick up on it, which is so silly of me, but I didn't pick it up until people started talking about it. So yeah, this is the final installment. The only thing is I hate how they print the books so big. Like, that's just my pet peeve. I don't like tall books, I like small books. So yeah, I'm very excited to read that. Hopefully I get through that. It's about 360 pages, so pretty good. And then the next one I want to read is obviously, oh, these are not in order by the way, I'm just like picking them up and telling you, but Love on the Brain by Alia Hazelwood. I loved The Love Hypothesis. I gave it a 5-star read, so I'm very excited to read her new book. Very excited about it. I will admit though, I've never been a fan of her covers. Like, I don't hate it. I do think it's cute and I love it, and I love how each of her covers like sort of blend together, but I don't know. Next one I want to read is Twisted Love by Anna Huang. I know this series, there's 4 of them in the series and everyone raves about them, but I've been too scared to start them because when something is raved about, I find it very difficult to read it because I'm like, well, everyone's hyping it up and it's not going to live up to the hype if I read it. So I'm very nervous to start some of those things, but I've been getting better at just like pushing through. So I bought this one. And to be fair, when I went to originally go buy it, I read the back and it really didn't pick up my attention. It didn't catch my eye, is what I'm trying to say. But I was like, you know what? Let's not judge a book by its blurb. Let's try it and see what happens. And I know a lot of people prefer the other 2 over the first book. It's not the most loved book, but some love it. Like, it's really mixed reviews, like a lot of books. So I thought, why not try it? If I like it, then I've got another series I can read. And then the second last book that I'd love to read this month is November 9 by Colleen Hoover. As you can see, I have started it. This is the book I was reading before the Final Gambit came out. Obviously, I dropped this to go read that. I'm literally only 14 pages in, so I haven't really made a dent, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm interested to go ahead with it. I've just met Ben, like I think they've just glanced at each other, so I'm really like not even in the depths of this book, but I'm very excited to read it. And then the final book that I want to get done is the A Court of Mist and Fury. I've read more than I thought. I'm 300 pages in, as you can see, and I took a break from this book because it's such a big book and people have raved about it and they love Rysand, and I do love Rysand, like don't get me wrong, don't hate me, don't come for me, but in the first book I actually didn't really like Rysand, and I also didn't really like Tamlin. I liked him at the start, but then as soon as they went in under the mountain, I didn't like him either. So really it wasn't working out for me in terms of plot, guys, but I love the first book. It was just so different, and I am enjoying this one, but I think because there's so much background information going on right now, nothing really intense, I'm slowly getting through it. So that's the other book I want to finish, because I really would love to finish this series in the next like 2 months. You know, that's a bit ambitious of me, but we'll see how we go. So yeah, those are all the books I would like to read this month. If you would like to see a reading vlog of any book or a reading vlog of any book that I haven't mentioned, please let me know, because I do love doing reading vlogs and I would love to do one that you guys would be interested in seeing, because sometimes, you know, I might want to I might choose one for a reading vlog, but you guys might not be interested in that, so that'd be very entertaining. As for my channel, there is no schedule, there's no nothing. I'll just upload when I can. I love YouTube, but unfortunately it's not my priority. I don't have the time to film and edit like I used to, and so I will really try my best to keep up with it all. But yeah, I'm very excited for this month's book reads. I'm finally out of my book slump, and it's so good to be back in the book world, because it's so frustrating when you sit here and watch like Hayley Pham, Rachel Catherine, Destiny, I think it's Destiny, I could be so wrong right now, and they're reading and loving it, and you're sitting here going, I want to read too, but I just physically cannot bring myself to do it. So yeah, I'm very excited to be back. I'm sorry about the long break, but I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in my next one very, very soon. Goodbye.